Hello, hello, everyone. Thank you, and welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Listen, this year is already starting out with a bang, and I am excited that each and every one of you is tuning in, listening in, contributing, participating, engaging, commenting, sharing your thoughts, and I really appreciate it. I really appreciate it. As we launch into this year, I am really committed to helping you understand what a nonprofit is, what it is not, also the opportunities that you have to go into this year with the idea that your organization can be fully funded. Okay, your organization can be fully funded. What does fully funded mean? Fully funded means that you have the resources, the revenue coming in so that your program and your organization can do the meaningful work that you intend for it to do. However, where does funding come from? Funding comes from your community. Funding comes from the trust and the visibility that you are able to garner from your community. And today I want to talk about what your nonprofit needs, okay, internally for it to grow. For it to grow in terms of visibility, for it to grow in terms of financially, for it to be able to grow in your desire to deliver real impact to your community. Your nonprofit will never grow without these six internal systems. All right. For those of you who are new to me, my name is Jennifer. I am your nonprofit expert, over 39 years of experience helping organizations put together plans, strategies, systems, and tools to ensure that your organization has exactly what it needs to deliver the program that you are passionate about, but to also have the resources needed for that delivery. Okay. So today we're going to talk about something that most of you avoid. Did you hear what I said? Most of you avoid this thing, okay? And it's not because you don't care, but it's because you don't even know it exists. And I'm going to say it plainly, okay? Again, your nonprofit will never grow without the six internal systems that I'm going to be talking about today. All right. And I don't mean not grow slowly or not grow eventually or not grow with grants. I mean never grow ever. This video or this conversation is not about motivation. It's not about inspiration. It's not about your passion. This is about the very thing that determines whether you get funded, whether donors trust you, whether your programs expand, whether you burn out, whether your nonprofit survives the next 3 to 5 years. Okay. Most of you think that running a nonprofit is serving people, helping the community, doing good work, feeding families, right? Running programs. No, no. That is one half of the job. That's the program half. Today, we're going to be focusing on the other half, the half that many of you ignore or avoid or underestimate or, quite frankly, never learn. The administrative entity, the business side, the structure, the internal systems. Because without these systems, your nonprofit will stay small, underfunded, overwhelmed, unfundable, stressed, donor poor, and unstable. Now, listen, this is going to be a full conversation. All right. I'm going to dive all the way in. And I think that it needs to be that. Okay. I'm not going to scratch the surface. I am going to break it down for you. I want you to grab your notebook and I want you to take notes. Okay. Because we're going to dig deep into your organizational systems. Are you ready? Are you ready? Let's go. All right, here we go. Let's start with the biggest myth in the nonprofit world. The biggest myth in the nonprofit world. The biggest myth is if I start a nonprofit, I can get a grant. And I need you to understand this: grants do not fund ideas, grants do not fund passion, grants do not fund good hearts, grants do not fund activity, grants do not fund programs alone. Grants do not fund new organizations without systems. Okay? For those of you that run out and get your 501c3 status and say, Jen, I need a grant. Jen, I got my 501c3, I got my EIN, I got my board, I need a grant. They don't fund that. They don't fund the fact that you went out, paid for your 501c3 status to the IRS, registered at the state. That's not what they're giving a grant to. Okay. They are giving money. Those capital issuing authorities, those grant funders, they fund capacity, they fund structure, they fund systems, they fund financial accountability and organizational readiness. People think once I file my paperwork, I can get funding. But let me tell you where that mindset came from. Okay? I want you to know where it came from. Historically, churches, relief organizations, international NGOs, mission-based charity models trained entire communities to believe that if there is a need, someone with money will show up. This goes all the way back to the 1960s, all the way through the 1990s. They literally trained communities to believe this, that if there was a need, someone with money will show up. But the funders today, corporate funders, foundations, government agencies, today they require structure. Today they require systems. Today they require accountability, not passion. And I think that that is the hardest pill to swallow, because this misinformation or this old model has been so deeply ingrained that it is hard to let go, that it no longer exists that way. It does not exist that way. Before we talk about systems, okay, we must define the word fundraising, because most of you don't understand what it is. People think fundraising means posting a flyer, asking people for cash, creating a social media plea, right? Or hosting a fish fry, running a one-time fundraiser. No, that's not what it is. That's not what it is. Fundraising is not collecting money. Did you hear what I said? Fundraising is not collecting money. Fundraising is the system of generating money in a predictable, repeatable, and diversified way. That's what fundraising is. Fundraising is a system for generating money in a predictable, repeatable, and diversified way. Fundraising is not begging. Okay? Fundraising is not begging. Fundraising is relationship building based on trust. Trust comes from knowledge. Trust comes after an introduction. Okay? Fundraising is not a one-time event. Fundraising is a year-round strategy. It's year-round. Fundraising is not random. It's structured. Fundraising equals revenue generation model. Fundraising equals revenue generation model. Are y'all writing that down? Okay. So fundraising is not collecting money. It is not begging. It is not a one-time event. It is not random. It is revenue generating model. That's what fundraising is. Fundraising is a system for generating money in a predictable, repeatable, and diversified way. Okay? That's what fundraising is. And here's the kicker. Here's the kicker. The IRS already assumes you have a fundraising system before you file your 1023 form. Now, let's just talk about it. Let's just talk about it. That when you all rush to do the paperwork, because you think that once I get this paperwork, once I get my 501c3, I can get funding. Once I get my paperwork in, Jen, you rush to get the paperwork in because you think once I got my 501c3, I can get funding. But this is the gag. The IRS already assumes you have a fundraising system before you do your 1023 form. When you file your 1023 form, the IRS asks you on that form, what are your planned fundraising activities or programs? What are your planned fundraising programs? How will you raise money? What percentage will come from each source? On the long form, it asks, will you be undertaking fundraising? If yes, check all the fundraising programs you will do. That form asks you, what are your planned revenues, cash, money? What are your planned revenues for the next 3 to 4 years? And most of you rush right past that part. Or you guess. Or you copy and paste something from Cousin Chat or Google. You use some template that you got from AI. Or you skip the strategy altogether. But according to the 1023 form, that paperwork y'all rush to do, you are supposed to already have a fundraising system before you apply. Let me repeat that. The IRS expects you to predict your revenue, diversify it, plan it, forecast it, understand it, and justify it years in advance. Can I ask you something bluntly? Did you know that? Or did you do that? Did you do that when you filed for that paperwork? Did you know that? Or did you rush to complete the paperwork thinking the money would come later? Because here's the truth. Most of you have no fundraising system, no financial strategy, no sustainability plan, no revenue diversity. But you do have your 501c3. You have your 501c3. And this is why your nonprofit is struggling. This is why donations feel slow. This is why grants get denied. This is why many of you are burnt out. The paperwork is not the plan. The structure is the plan. All right. Now let's talk about the reason you might have clicked on this video. Okay. You might have clicked on this video because I mentioned in the title that there are 6 internal systems that determine whether your nonprofit grows, survives, and gets funded, or whether it struggles year after year. All right. So now I want to go through each one. Okay. Now this is the time. I hope that you've been taking notes. I hope that your pages are filling up. Okay. Here we go. The systems that your organization must have include mission clarity, program definition, target population specificity, program model, theory of change, right? Expected outcomes, and community alignment. If you cannot express clearly what you do, for whom, and why, how, and with what measurable results, then donors cannot trust your organization. It's that simple. This is not about your good heart. This is not about your good deed. This is not about what you want to do. It's about, do your donors trust what you do? Is what you do clear to the people that would support it? Clarity is the first system. Because if your donors, your funders, your supporters, your contributors, your community, if they don't understand what you do, not that you're passionate about it, not your why, but if they don't understand why it's important now, then you're going to be stuck doing this work by yourself. Now, many of you think, well, Jen, I just would rather do it by myself because I don't want to fundraise. I don't want to fundraise, Jen. I would rather just support it out of my own pocket. That is ignorance. That is ignorance. That you are doing a work that benefits the community, the entire community. And the thought that I can support the community, I can do for the community, I know what the community needs, and you do it by yourself and not engaging the community is ignorant. It's short-sighted. It's fear. Just say that. I'm afraid. Okay. System number 2. All right. System number 1 is your organizational identity, the clarity. That's a system. That's not a statement. It's a system. All right. Number 2, your governance, your leadership as a system. This includes your board roles and responsibilities, compliance, your documentation, your oversight, your leadership pipeline, decision-making policies. Funders do not trust nonprofits with inactive boards, relatives as their only board members. You guys know I talk about your mother, your brother, your dog, your cat, your fish. And these people are sitting on your board and not active, not engaged, not clear about what their roles and responsibilities are. You got people in a seat, but they're not effective. All right. They don't trust organizations that have boards that don't meet or boards that aren't aware of the financial management. Why? Because the role of the board, or one role of the board, is to ensure that the public's money is being stewarded well. That's an opportunity that you have to build trust through your board. That is an opportunity to build trust through your board. It is not a hindrance, it is an opportunity. Your board is not a formality. Your board is a system of accountability to your community. That's an opportunity to show and to share with your community that you are accountable for their dollars, that you know how to be transparent about how the resources coming into the organization are being stewarded properly. They then can trust you with their money. That's an opportunity. So the board as a system is for accountability. Okay, it's not to stress you out. System number 3 is financial management and control. All right. This includes your chart of accounts, your financial tracking, your donor restrictions, your banking structure, your budget management, your reporting. Donors do not fund confusion. Did you hear what I said? Donors do not fund confusion. Money follows order. Funders need to know that you can manage money before they give the money. That's a system. Jen, we don't have a budget. Jen, we don't have our financials. Jen, I'm funding everything out of my pocket. Jen, I don't know how much this program costs. I got my bank statements, Jen, but no, Jen, I'm not accounting for everything that we spend for the program or for the organization. I'm just taking that. I'm commingling my personal money with the organization's money. That's confusion. System number 4, fundraising and revenue systems. And this includes your individual donors, your monthly donors, your major gifts, your corporate partnerships, your sponsorships, your events, your earned revenue, grants. Okay. One stream, not the stream. Okay. Grants are one stream, not the stream. Grants are not the biggest source of money. I don't care what anybody says. Grants cannot be, are not designed to be the biggest source of money. They are not your first source of money. They are not your most stable source of money. Your funders expect 6 to 10 streams of revenue. You have 15. Your funders expect year-round donor relationships. Your funders expect predictable income. Your revenue system is the engine of your stability. Now, many of you don't even know what a nonprofit is. That's a whole different conversation. For those of you that say, Jen, I'm a nonprofit, we don't have any money. Jen, I'm a nonprofit. How am I supposed to do this work? We don't have any money. You don't know what a nonprofit is. Okay? That's not what it means. It's a status of who pays taxes and who doesn't. That's it. Our organizations are created to benefit our community, which is why we are tax exempt. That has nothing to do with your ability, your capacity, your systems to raise money. All right. System number 5, all right, your program delivery and your outcome system. This includes your program structure. This includes your curriculum, your service flow, your participant tracking, your evaluation, your data management, your outcome reporting. Okay. Good deeds or doing good is not enough. Funders want to see evidence, not activity, results, not passion, real measurable performance. System number 6, your communication and trust building system. This includes your donor updates. This includes storytelling, transparency, reporting, impact communication, branding, public trust indicators. Donors don't give because you ask. Donors give because they trust you. Trust is built through communication and consistency. Now, I'm going to be blunt. Call me blunt, okay? I'm going to be blunt. It's costing you big not having these systems. And most of you didn't even know these systems existed. No one talks about this but me. I want to be blunt. Every year, you avoid putting these systems, building these systems, you lose thousands in donations, thousands in corporate support, thousands in sponsorships, thousands in grants. Most nonprofits lose $25,000 to $100,000 a year in potential revenue because they are not structurally ready. Who is this video for? Who is this conversation for? This is not for hobby nonprofits. This is not for pop-up charity ideas. People who just want to do good. This is for those of you that want stability, that want sustainability, that want structure, that want funding, that want growth, that want real impact. That's not everybody. Some of you are satisfied running a hobby nonprofit, right? You got this benevolent spirit and you just want to help people, right? So you got this idea of giving back. Nothing's wrong with that. Nothing's wrong with that. But that's how you lead, that's how you manage, and that's what satisfies you. Nothing wrong with that. You just want to do good. You got your paperwork to do good. You're funding it by yourself, but you feel satisfied that you do good. Nothing wrong with that. But then there are those of you that say, Jen, I want stability. I want sustainability. I want the structure that is going to attract funding. I want the ability to grow, to be able to expand our program and to deepen and to broaden our reach of impact. If you are ready to build an organization, not just run a program, then the next step is obvious. You have 2 choices. You can do it yourself. You can keep guessing, keep struggling, keep losing money, keep burning out. You can keep missing out on funding opportunities. You can keep fighting alone. Some of you are satisfied with that, okay? Or you can say, Jen, I did this wrong, or I didn't know how to do it, and I need help. Okay? I need help. You can say, Jen, will you do this with me? Will you do this with me? Jen, I'm ready to build my systems. I'm ready to structure my organization. I'm ready to prepare for donors. I'm ready to be fundable. I'm ready to get sustainable. I'm ready to take the weight off my shoulders. I'm ready to grow faster and smarter. I'm ready to expand my program. I'm ready to leave a legacy of impact. I'm ready to do this in a way that others can see the work, join us in the work, value the work, and be benefited by the work. You can try for 3 years on your own, or you can get clarity in one conversation. In one conversation. If you are ready for that conversation, I want you to comment below. I want you to reach out to me and say, Jen, I'm really ready to have this conversation. I'm really ready to get help. I'm tired of doing this by myself. Or even if you quit and you say, now I understand where I went wrong and I want to now do it right, then let's have that one conversation. It's not about, it's not your passion holding you back, it's your systems. And once your systems are built, everything changes. Everything changes. All right. Listen, 2026 is the year of systems. 2026 is the year of systems. I am Jennifer. I am your nonprofit expert, over 39 years of experience, helping organizations not just start, but to grow and to be sustainable so that when you retire, your organization continues. But today, let's build the systems that are going to move your organization forward, get the funding that you need, develop the program, hire the team, get the salaries that you need to pay for those people who are qualified and prepared to help take your organization and your impact to the next level. I'm sure that's what your vision is. Now let's bring it to life. All right. Thank you for tuning in, and I'll see you next time.